Howdy howdy! So a long time ago, I made a video going over my favorite Finnish metal bands, and 5 years later I'm back to do another video, but for Germany this time. I'm going to have separate categories for genres, and just power through a bunch of groups, and maybe some of them will spark an interest for you. I'll have my top 5 at the end of the video, so if you want to skip the filler, then skip to the end. I won't blame you. For each category, I'm going to give a brief opinion on a few of the bands, so I can get my 2 cents in. With all that said, let's get into the first category. Firstly, we have to start with the classics. I don't listen to all these groups, but they've all been a staple for German metal and been influential to many bands. The Scorpions, Accept, Rammstein, Creator, Helloween, and the Teutonic Four, which is Creator, Sodom, or as the cool kids say, Wodos, Destruction, and Tankard, just to name a few. This isn't a complete list, but these were the first bands that came to my head when I thought of the German metal bands. I'll say my piece with 2 bands on this list and then continue on to the next category. Creator is the goated thrash metal band from Germany. Banger albums and great live. They're the only band where I actually had a serious injury in their pit, but it was so worth it. Helloween is one of the OGs. Keeper 1 and 2 are awesome. Rabbit Don't Come Easy is my favorite album, even though it's usually ranked as probably one of their worst. I'm glad they were able to dissolve their feuds and just come back in full strength as a huge powerhouse now. Some other bands that are in the OGs but are more of a shout-out would be Gamma Ray, Gravedigger, Primal Fear, and Running Wild. Next on the chopping block is one of my favorite genres, power metal. Germany is a leader when it comes to producing hard-hitting, great power metal bands. Some of my favorites include, but are not limited to, Dionysus, Edguy, Avantasia, Freedom Call, Advance, Blind Guardian, Silent Force, Ordnogen, and Powerwolf. Dionysus, their albums Fairy Tales and Reality and Anua Mundi, absolute certified bangers. Great band. Not enough people talk about them. Freedom Call, I got into them in high school, so pretty late into my metal fucking obsession. I actually ended up buying Master of Light, Eternity, and Beyond on CD because I liked them that much. And Powerwolf, I got my uncle into them, so that's kind of funny. The only downside to Powerwolf is they're kind of known as the furry band. Like any furry you find online, they like Powerwolf. And it doesn't help, but their whole thing is like, you know, wolves. But the music's really good and it's catchy as fuck. The next category is pretty small, but I wanted to include it nonetheless. I put black metal and folk metal together because 90% of the black metal I listen to is either black and folk metal or DSBM. Bethlehem, Cold World, Equilibrium, Falkenbach, and Endstille. Not much to say really, just they're good bands with solid sound. Honestly, I thought Germany had a lot more black metal bands, but aside from Bethlehem and Nargaroth, not many other ones were ones that I even recognized. Next is my honorable mentions. These are bands that are pretty baller, but I really don't go out of my way to listen to that much. The Apocalyptischen Reiter, Black Messiah, Iron Savior, JBO, which is actually kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, I'm not going to lie on that one. Wolf Chant, Xandria, Majesty, Masterplan, Nocturnal, and they're getting pretty big now as Feuerschwanz. So, now we're up to my top 5 German metal bands. I'm starting from number 1 and working my way down because I'm different. Slay Queen. So number 1 is going to be Accept. Just the OG. I mean, I started out with Balls to the Walls just like everyone else as a kid. Too Mean to Die was awesome. I really liked that album. Their latest one wasn't that bad either, but Too Mean to Die just hit that itch. They're like angry dad rock metal shit now, which I shouldn't like, but I'm kind of into it. And my unpopular opinion is, maybe it's not very unpopular, but to me it feels like it's unpopular, is Mark is a way better singer than Udo. Udo, I mean, his voice is iconic, but boy, it does not sound good. Number 2 is, everyone knew it was going to be in my top 5, is Rammstein. They're the biggest German metal band, if not probably the biggest German band in the entire world. So, including in Rammstein, I'm going to include Lindemann and then Till Lindemann. So his solo side project, and his project with Peter from Hypocrisy. Till is like a weird, creepy old guy, so I really don't like him as a person. He's kind of, he gives me the heebie-jeebies. But that man can write music. Rammstein just has like such a classic sound that it's hard not to like him, especially because they're like the kings of freaking industrial metal. Sehnsucht is my favorite song. Reise, Zeit, Rosenrot, and Rammstein are just such good albums. Number 3 is Ordnogen, probably my favorite power metal band from Germany. Things We Believe In was my introduction to them back in middle school. I've been listening to them ever since. Ravenhead, To the End, Veil, and Eastern Hope are albums I always fall back to listening to quite a bit, especially Ravenhead. Oh, dude. Mwah. Number 4 is Blind Guardian. Also another one that had to be on the list somewhere for top 5. I'm a big Tolkien person, and thanks to Blind Guardian, I've actually read the Silmarillion 3 times. I've read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and I'm working through The Lost Tales right now. Nightfall and Middle-earth is their best album. Don't come at me, you know I'm right. And although I haven't seen Blind Guardian themselves, I did see Hansi with Demons and Wizards before, John decided to raid the Capitol. But I did get to hear Valhalla live. Number 5 is kind of a weird pick. It's going to be Advance. I don't think they're very big outside of, I'm guessing Europe and South America is their biggest market. But at least in North America, you really don't hear about them much. Only Human, Dragon Chaser, Heart of Steel, awesome albums. Soldier of Time is just, that's such a hype song. And every time I hear it, I just get excited and happy. So their ABBA covers is what got me into them. And mixing ABBA with metal, you can't go wrong. So I lied, I actually have a quasi 6th place, but they're more of an honorable mention. This band is actually Austrian, so not actually German, but close enough. Summoning, I already said how much I love Tolkien. Mix that with black metal dungeon synth, and you have Heaven on Earth. Old Morning Dawn is actually my YouTube banner, Feel It Close Enough. Along with Moonsorrow, they are my sleep aid. If I'm not listening to one of those 2 bands, I ain't getting any sleep. Angbang Schmeiden is my favorite song. I know I have an accent, don't make fun of how I say my A's. I'm not Canadian, I'm half-assed Canadian at this point, but hear me out. If you never listened to Summoning, please do. They're kind of gritty, but trust me, they are mwah, 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 chef's kiss. That about wraps up the video, so thank you for watching. I'll try to get back into making more content, but we'll see how the dice rolls. Hope you have a great day, and as always, stay metal.